of all three of the starter decks. This is the Amber Amethyst versus the Emerald Ruby starter decks. This will be the last deck I have to play. This will be the last deck the wife has to play. And yeah, let's get this thing started. You want to start the roll? Do a high roll. 8. 9.
Ooh, the first roll you won.
I will go first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. I'm excited to play this one. So what we got here? Yeah, I'll keep.
Let me look and see what I got going.
In case anybody wants to see the opening hand here.
Yeah, we didn't do that with the last game.
No, we didn't. That's all right. Maybe if we do like more of this, that will be like every starting game will show the opening hands or something. I don't know.
It's a bad hand. Don't look at the camera.
I'm looking away.
I have no clue if they can see it. It's a bad hand, but I've not mulliganed yet, so... You want to play?
Yep. Dinglehopper into ink. Stitch new dog. Pass.
Playing my man against me.
I am. I'm playing the boy.
Okay. Oh, draw.
Yeah.
Don't want to forget that again. Okay. How do I want to go about this?
I'm going to go about it all wrong.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Well, ugh. I hate this. I hate this. I absolutely hate this. Oop. Scar, Fiery Usurper, Ink. Sergeant Tibbs.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Yeah, what's slapping, Captain? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today we are playing some more Bat Blade combo, Mirkwood bats, that kind of thing. Good morning, what's up, Darius, White Lotus, Wifey? Ugh, what's going on? So, what are we doing with this deck? Well, we are playing the bats, Mirkwood bats. If you've not seen what this deck is super sweet. It's one of my favorite decks in the format. Very fringe, but very, very fun. Still no Marut. Nope. Still no Marut. I have it in paper, but ain't got some here. So what are we doing with this deck? Well, we're using Mirkwood bats, Reckless Fireweaver, and Nadir's Nightblade to basically combo out and win. Using cards like Big Score, Unexpected Windfall, and Pulse of Piffler, Prize Statue, to base and Shambling Gas, I guess, to make a bunch of treasure tokens. The treasure tokens do a bunch of damage. We also have Burn to reach the face, and when all else fails, we have Blood Aspirant to hopefully grow pretty big. Outside of that, we just have some draw power between Reckless Bargaining and Deadly Dispute, and then we have our suite of lands, which is just basic Rakdos lands, nothing super duper crazy. Sideboard-wise, we're with 3 Warren Weirdings, which is really interesting because it's basically Chainer's Edict without flashback, but instead you're getting 2 Goblin tokens. You know, what's up, Moist? I talked to the deck creator, Moist Moose, about this card. Last time I played this deck, they were in chat with us, in like voice chat, talking us through gameplay moves and stuff like that, so that was really cool. But Warren Weirding is a cool card because you can sacrifice your own Impulsive Piffler and get 2 Goblin tokens on the back end of that. So really cool. Outside of that, you know, the rest of the sideboard is pretty basic sideboard stuff. I just get into some games. I've covered this deck several times. I like this deck a lot. I do want to look at something real quick. I want to look at what, probably like $30. I wanted to see how much it would cost if I wanted to do a Wilds of Eldraine If I want to do a Wilds of Eldraine sealed on Magic Online, I wanted to see how much it would cost. Did I pass it? Yeah, I did. Not bad, just to work, so if I take a little time to respond, that's why. No worries. Hopefully your work day is going nicely. Magic Online did that thing where it made me sign like reinstall. So that was kind of annoying. So actually, hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna change some settings real quick. Make sure. It looks like all my settings stayed. Yeah, okay. I don't understand what happened then earlier this morning. This hand's not the best, but it's not horrific either, so I'm gonna keep. We have 4 lands, we have a Shambling Guest, we have Deadly Dispute, so we can kind of ramp into Mirkwood Bats. Our problem is if they start gaining life with like Gates and Cat, but I'm assuming this is all that glitters. You know what I mean? But I'm assuming it is. Which we could just try to kill the Ginger Brute with Shambling Ghast. I mean, obviously they have to, if they don't want it to be blocked, they have to spin a turn off, but don't think that matters a whole lot. We might be a little bit too slow for this. Sideboard wise, we do have like Cast into Fire, I guess. I don't have like a ton. They made it unblockable, sure. We don't have like a ton of stuff to do with that. So yeah, the question here, ooh, okay. I was gonna say the question is if we want to make a treasure token or not with Deadly Dispute, but I think what we do is let's get in for 1, right? And my only problem is like if they have a counter spell. Turn 3 bats if you do, I know. But I'm a little bit worried about like a Metallic Rebuke. Whatever. It's gonna pass. Just gonna pass. They go to all that glitters. I will Gal Blast the Ginger Brute. They're not going to. Well, that's good for us. Again, if they counter this Deadly Dispute, instead of making a treasure, I'll probably just I'll just give Ginger Brute a 1/1. Oh, it doesn't let me do that way? Okay, well. I'll just create a treasure token. Let's hope they don't have Metallic Rebuke. Okay, cool. They do? Fuck you. Alright, well. Not a big fan of playing Mirkwood Bats. Hurts a little, hurts a lot. Probably running an Infinity. They only run 2 Metallic Rebukes. And of course they had it. They always have it. Okay, well, I think I don't feel like I want to play Mirkwood Bats into this quite yet. I'm assuming they have like a Journey to Nowhere. I think I'd rather just hold up Gal Blast. We could also just Reckon a Bargain away a land. We want to draw some more cards, you know? Another Ginger Brute, sure. Yep. Okay. Price statue's interesting. My opinion, I would have disputed on the end step when they tapped out. That way we had both treasure. Hold up Gal Blast. Couldn't work with Bat. Well, the problem is they weren't tapped out. They were passing the turn without tapping anything. I guess I could have just held on to it for longer. But is what it is. So the question here is, is probably worth prize statue. Play Mirkwood Bats, hold up Reckoner's Bargain / Deadly Dispute. I think it's probably the play here. I lose 1 point of damage for playing the prize statue first, but I think I have to. No, because I'd have to use the tokens for it. Let's get the bats down. I'm going to get the bats down and pass. Hold up Gal Blast. Of 1 mining again. Tag's the best, to be honest. On our turn 2. Hold on. We mean tag's the best. You passed the turn with 2 mana open, a gas on board, and they were not completely tapped out though when we deadly disputed, right? Oh, so you're saying I should have done it. No, okay, Darius, I see what you're saying. I should have done it while they were tapped down instead of waiting. No, I see what you're saying. That's the best bet. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying though, Darius. That should have just done it on my turn instead of trying to do in-step shenanigans. How much can we hit them for here, though? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We only do 13 unless we draw like a big score. Hey. All right. The problem with big score is it makes you discard a card. And all these cards are relevant. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, it's math time. Hold on, I'll read comments in a second. So I don't want to discard any of the cards in our hand. So it'd be better if we can do it this way, right? So we can 1, 2, prize statue, leaves up 4 mana, 5 mana, right? Leaves up 5. So 1, 2, prize statue, treasure token. 1, 2, sacrifice. Leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. And then we big score. Okay. I think we have the kill shot here. Black. Nah, I think we still have the kill shot here, right? Three, 4. Big score, pitch, great furnace. 12. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Okay, so down to 9, 8. Dan would be too shy. How do I do the math so incorrectly? We can't attack. We have to hold up. Gal Blast. Well, we can't attack because they have double all that glitters, because we can't do lethal. How did I have that wrong? If he still would have got encountered, but they'd have all the glitters, been able to play it. Gotcha. So 1, 2. I think we just win here as well. I'm just curious to see what happens here. If they have a counter spell or not. You fucker. Gain 3 life to Ginger Brute. Alright, now we pass. What's up, Torvis? Still win? Yeah, I think we still have the win, because we just wait to activate in response to Ginger Brute. Although, if they have all that glitters here, we're kind of boned. Oh, you missed a kill? How did I miss the kill? It's 2 or 3 for Ginger Brute. Is it? It's 3 for Ginger Brute. They gain 3 off Ginger Brute Tea. I'm gonna attack with both because they have to block. Oh, it's 2 mana for Ginger Brute to sacrifice it. So annoying. It really doesn't. I guess it saves that Ornithopter from dying, right? If we end up losing this game, I'm gonna be pissed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, and all that glitters doesn't kill us. Okay, they just scoop it. I think it's 2 mana, sack any kind of food. Yeah, the food thing is 2 mana for everything. Cast into fire. comes in. Outside of that, I don't know. No, there was no Piffler. We had no Piffler that whole game. Part of me wants Warren Wilding, but like also not that excited about it. Bring in Sulfurous Blast, I guess, but I don't know. Yes, Cast is good. Sulfurous Blast, yeah. I feel like Sulfurous Blast is probably decent too. And we're just gonna trim the Unexpected Windfall, the Blood Aspirants, and the Unexpected Windfall for Cast on a Fire and Sulfurous Blast. This is a matchup where we do have to like probably send some of those burn spells to creatures. This is a really slow hand, but I'm gonna keep it. That we draw good. Like if we have good mana, like right. We just play Great Furnace, pick it back up with, or just play Swamp, pick it back up for Rakdos Canarium. Just the question is like, how fast are they? You know, we can turn 3 Nadir Nightblade into big score. Potentially. Keyword there is the potential part. We could get really lucky and top deck a 1-drop. That'd be sweet. Nope, another big score. All right, well. Let's pick up our Swamp and pass. We're going to take a lot of unnecessary damage here. We have to discard? Damn. Them not having Brute turn 1 is very lucky for us. Yeah, but... well, they have all that glitter, so this game's going to be over too quick. Unless we get Cast into Fire, but they're obviously holding up like Metallic Rebuke, right? We just draw more land. Well, we're going to do the thing we can do, which is set up. They could just have Blue Elemental Blast, too. It's a card they could have. We just might not be fast enough for this. It's like one of those things, like if they just stay tapped out, you know. But that Metallic Rebuke being Convoke or Convey or whatever it's called is pretty obnoxious. I'm going to block the Frogmite. They just bounce off each other. Another Nightblade is really not the best. I'm just going to try to big score here. If they counter this, I'm just probably going to scoop. Alright. Those aren't Cetus Snoods, right? Yeah, just run it back. I don't know, we could probably bring in the Red Elemental Blast, but I'm not like that concerned with it, I guess. I just can't believe all that. I'm gonna keep this. I just can't believe all that glitters is a fucking card that nobody thought would be a problem. I don't know. Maybe it's not that much of a problem, but playing against this deck's getting old. That's for sure. This deck do be getting old. Gal Blast is kind of cool, I guess. Oh wait, turn off audio yields. Part of me wonders if I should have just attacked the land here. I'm going to. Not in chat for a little bit. First day of school today, so busy morning. That's what's up, Darius. Hope you have a good day. First day back. What's up, Bull? How's it going? It'd be hilarious if that was like their one land. Damn. I'm gonna take the 1 here. And they have the ninja? What the fuck? Still listening though, no worries. Okay. So we can deadly dispute and cast into fire, which seems hilarious. Just kill everything they have, just about. Kinda. Guess I'd rather just trade this shambling ghast. Just gonna keep attacking their lands. Don't know if that's the right play or not, but it seems annoying, right? Did you see Lotus mono red aggro for Pauper standard? I have not. That sounds really cool. This seemed like a bad attack for my opponent. Damn. Quit drawing them lands, boy. Play Rakdos Canary and pick up the Great Furnace. And then I'm just going to Deadly Dispute away this treasure token. Price Statue. It's not the most exciting. These have not been the most exciting draws, that's for sure. Turn off auto yields. I do have Gal Blast. Come on, big card. One of our litany of combo pieces, please. Nope. Okay. Play Price Statue. Deadly Dispute Price Statue. We have drawn a bajillion lands. No payout. Ornithopter, sure. Mirror Enforcer, sure. Probably just going to Gal Blast away. God damn it. Well, I guess, you know, when you have the variance that you literally have drawn nothing, even though you've drawn a million cards. Hey, there we go. I don't want to use this now. I want to hold this in case they go to all that glitters. Lotus sucks shit. That's helpful at least. Yeah, I mean, we still need to draw our combo pieces. This right now is like where if you could top deck Marut, this would be insane. Just, what are you doing? Gal Blast, the Mirror Enforcer away. Block the Frogmite. Take a lot. All right. A big score would be a really good draw. Improvised club is not bad at all. Oh, I should have sacrificed Price Statue. Why didn't I do that? I was saying Price Statue was something different. Still probably should have held up the Improvised Club in case they top deck land into all that glitters, but I don't think this game's going to go very well for us regardless. Yep, that didn't go very well for us. I know, I should have clubbed the statue. I should have held club is what I should have done. But I played that game very poorly. Oh, god damn it. Same person again. Get out of here. I will say we had some bad draws, but I did play the game kind of poorly too, so I'll give myself a little bit of that. I'm going to keep this. I'm not in love with this, though. Turn one ginger root. That will happen sometimes. It happens a lot with me. The misplace. I'm going to keep a one-lander. No. Vault of Whispers was a good draw. Kind of makes me want to like change what I was going to do a little bit. Weak turn 2 Sacky Boy. Yeah. I'm just going to lead with Blood Aspirant here. Pass. Next turn, do Prize Statue, Shambling Ghast. A sack, brother. Just going to use the treasure token from the Prize Statue to sack Shambling Ghast with. Play Shambling Ghast. We'll go ahead and attack with Blood Aspirant because they can just make Gingerbread unblockable. Yeah, no, it's the same player. The next turn we can sack Shambling Ghast, kill Gingerbread, hopefully. Would be nice. Instead of making a treasure token, I'll probably just put a -1 on Gingerbread. Just get rid of Gingerbread. Okay. Because you're going to ninja. What the fuck is this thing? Okay. That is so annoying. This deck is very obnoxious. Made mono green toxic oil deck to play against Lotus and Pauper standard, hopefully. That'd be cool. I mean, they have all that glitters. I'm not playing around this deck very well. My baby got a nap to make it work. There you go. Pauper Standard sounds fun. It sounds like a fun idea. Not gonna scoop, but I want to. This deck of theirs is super unfun. All right, well. Bring in this package. Bring you out. Bring you out. Bring... Gonna sound weird. I'm gonna trim one bats out, one prize statue, and one... No, leave in prize statue. Try like that. I think Pauper Standard will rekindle the flame I once had when I first discovered Pauper. Probably. Glitter Ninja all the rage. I hate this. This deck is so stupid. Not like in love with this, but I don't hate this either. Finally managed to catch you streaming. What's up, Bartos? I hope I'm saying your name right. We've not been having a fun day so far. Alright, I like this better. Our opponent's playing Glitter Squad. They're on the no fun plan. We played them twice now. People are just playing it because it won't challenge. It won the challenge last week. Well, it's also very powerful. Like, the deck is, like, kind of stupidly powerful. Bottom you, and hope I can get to Sulphurous Blast range. Just the fairies with the win con. Yeah, basically. It's very obnoxious. I am not a fan of it. I mean, it's obnoxious. I don't know. The more I've played like with Magic and stuff, the more I kind of just hate the power level that's in the game now. You know what I mean? The power creep. And Pauper in particular, I feel like has gotten crazy power creep in just like very recently. But even like Modern has the fucking annoying all the stuff with trying to think. All the stuff with like Modern Horizons 1 and 2. How like 90% of the formats from those two sets. You know what I mean? The power creep is super obnoxious. This is very obnoxious, I think. Been playing a ton of Standard on MTG Arena. Honestly, I love it. Yeah, I like Standard a lot when I used to play it. I just haven't played it since like Ixalan. But I don't like Arena, and it's not very viable on Magic Online. We get it. You have Ornithopter. Pauper standard is cheap too. No reason to buy a playset of every new card, right? Just gonna make the hard trade here. Turn off auto yields. I'm gonna try to sulfurous blast them. Keyword is try, because they probably have. They have the answers, right? They've always had the answers, so it's not the most original name. So I'm after any name recommend. I think Pauper standard's fine. If they pitch Dispel, they totally have some kind of counter spell here. Well, I mean, we got to do it. We don't have anything else going on. If they counter, I'm just going to scoot and go to another game. Jesus. I've got a similar feeling with Power Creep and Pauper at my LGS. And online, there's barely anything you can do outside of Tier 1 decks. Been trying my hardest to brew. Yeah. There's no brewing in this game anymore. Not to sound like a negative nilly, but there just isn't. There's no brewing. I'm going to keep this. This feels like a one land, wonder hand. Control matches are harder matchups for us. Yeah, well, when they can control and on top of that control just constantly hit you with aggression. Yeah. There's not a lot you can do with that. Someone said brewing, apparently. It's very obnoxious. It's very obnoxious. You need to play them very hard. Yeah, I also didn't play very well those games. I decided I was like just checked out and I didn't want to play that match anymore, so I didn't play around anything. Well, I bet there's some similar lists online. Yeah, you can still try Q stuff. Yeah, you can still try Q stuff. I actually think this deck is like probably actually better in paper because you have Marut than you do online with Blood Aspirant. And I got Maruts in paper, and the card just feels like a massive bomb. I haven't really got to play it in paper, but it just, in theory, just feels like a huge bomb card. In my opinion, the form is good for competitive play, but not good at all for brewing. I stand by the thesis that a format is solved until new cards are printed and have impact. Yeah, the problem, I don't know. I just hate power creep. It's literally why I never, I quit playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Is power creep. This should be an easy matchup. If we get land. In theory, it should be. It does look like Boros. That's why I stepped away from the format since the downshift, since my silly elephants build. I don't blame you. I think it's possible to brew. You just have to wait for the next set. Yeah, give me a bad card and I'll make it worse. Yeah, my biggest problem is the power creep. Oh, come on. Come on. Where's our lands? I'm like half tempted to Gal Blast one of our impulsive pifflers. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think there's brewing. I'm just looking at a weird combo. I'm looking at a weird combo deck at the moment. Oh yeah? What's that? I mean, I think there's brewing, but I don't think there's very little room to like break into like a tier deck. You know what I mean? I just think, and I thought this when All That Glitters was like announced to be printed, that was a problem card. I was like, that's a card that probably should be banned. And I feel like it's proving its point. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck. Well, we're going to get the chump block, at least. Secret of the Way is going to be hard for us to beat. Oh, so are these Lambasses, to be fair. We should have actually just Gal Blast the Seeker of the Way while they were tapped down. So we didn't have to discard a card. It can be dealt with, it just requires 4 main and 4 side slots. That's the problem. If you're not running the most efficient spells, you're not winning, and it creates a situation where you see the same cards over and over. Exactly. Read to the real with bounce land, and they make a creature card into infinite mana combo. Okay, that's interesting. Why are you not drawing lands? Because I didn't pay for mtgo premium. I let it go this week. But yeah, I just gotta say, like, the Glitter Squad deck is just super obnoxious. I know Calicast has been complaining about it on Twitter. I will say I'll do some self-promotion when I got 12 via in here. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. All that goes a long way helping the channel out. If you want to support the channel even further, you can consider becoming a member. $1 a month gets you access to the community Discord server along with other stuff. So feel free to check that out if you want. And feel free to like the video if you're watching right now, because it helps out in the algorithm. They're going to Gal Blast, and I'm going to Gal Blast in response. Because why not? I would rather make than like have to like burn a couple spells, you know what I mean? To save their Seeker of the Way. If we keep our Pifflers, like, that's not great for us, but it's not horrendously bad either. You know what I mean? They're going to tap for something. They have another Gal Blast, sure. So my version was not quite as obnoxious. What's your version, Torvis? I like the new face cam. Thank you, Alex. I bought a cam link so I can use my DSLR. So thank you. Yeah, I think David's got a bad card challenge for sure. It's in the Discord? Okay, I'll have to check it out. Relic? I mean, Relic's annoying because we could like flash back our Piffler, but not like that annoying. I'm probably just going to play Blood Aspirin. Shambling Ghast is probably what I'll do. Chimney Imp? What is that? We draw another Mirkwood Bats. Well, today's not been a very good run of the deck, that's for sure. You're bound to find variants, right? Hammerthal. Tortured Existence, I'm kidding. I need to play the updated Tortured Existence decks at some point. I really need to. I've just been kind of captured with this deck, wanting to play it more. Okay, they just tapped a land for no reason. We're 6 turns in and we haven't drawn a single land. It's the kind of life we're leading today. One landers are really punishing in a deck that runs... Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I felt like, you know, with our Pifflers and stuff, like we could have made some treasures until we drew some lands, but I mean, running 6 turns in and having 1 land has been pretty rough. I feel like we should have had another land by now. They're really going in after this Blood Aspirin, aren't they? Kind of completely okay with that. Gotta watch out for shittering rats or bats. We have bats shitting on our driveway. Very disgusting. Pauper standard fixes the problems we were talking about right now. Yeah, I know, but you can't yeah, it's cool, but like there's not really like it'd be hard to like set up like a competitive play with that. You know what I mean? But it sounds fun. I definitely like the idea of like really limiting card pools. So I kind of like have a bigger interest in Pioneer right now. If we draw a land, I'll feel a little bit better about our life. But if we don't draw a land, I'm going to feel pretty bad about our life. All right, I'm just going to go to the next game. Yikes. Cast into Fire is pretty good. Sulphurous Blast seems pretty decent, and that's about all I'm going to bring in. I'm going to go out the Blood Aspirants and a Unexpected Windfall. It's just it's just in the baby stages, right? I mean, I guess if Standard was a little bit more viable on Magic Online, I'd be a little bit more interested in Standard, but it not being, I'm really like viable on Magic Online. Like, if you come over here, like, you have people running leagues, I guess, right? But like, if you come over here to just like the 2-player Standard practice room, there's never anybody in here. Like, never. You know? There's never anyone over here. So you just have the leagues, and obviously you see the people's trophy is not as high as, you know, Pioneer, or I guess it's close to Pioneer. This is where I DK if Artifact's good against Boros. I don't think it's the best. Mulligan this. Jesus Christ. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to bottom probably Mirkwood Bats, honestly. Having a conclusion about it. I don't think it's the best, but considering we don't really have much of a sideboard playing against them, I feel like it's probably okay. Yeah, never keep unless it's 2 lands. Well, I definitely feel like I'm playing very poorly today. So I will put a little bit of blame on the deck performance on me, but I'm starting to wonder if Penny Dreadful might be a better format. Maybe. Some days you just have off days. That's true. But Mindless Null is also one of my all-time favorite bad cards, also because of the name and the story behind it. It was an error in the cost. They chose to keep it in. That's interesting. Oh, there's that one land Wonder Hand kicking in again. Ain't it? Come on, give us a land. All right, can we draw land? Can we do it? Hey, oh, that's a good one too. I will take that. Also, as far as standard, I refuse to play rotate formats. I want to use all my cards. Rotating formats only benefit greedy companies that want to make you buy more product. I completely understand that point. I liked standard back in the day quite a bit, but I also had an LGS that fired off standard on a regular basis, and because of that, you know, it was more viable to play. I also only played like 1 or 2 decks mainly. For the longest time, I played Green-Black Delirium into Green-Black counters. And then as a backup deck, so I didn't get bored with that, I also played New Perspectives, were the 2 main ones I played. I did have a Boros Vehicles deck one time, but I didn't care too much for it, so I didn't play it a whole lot. So Um, hmm. So yeah, so that was just debating if I want to play Shambling Ghast. I think I do. Um, so like I get the justification, like it rotates out, and then you pay $20 for a card, then it rotates out, and it's worth nothing. Like I totally understand that, but I enjoyed Standard because I like the idea a lot of having, and it's I think one of the reasons why I like Pauper too. So I like the idea of having a very limited. I mean, Pauper's different. You obviously have a much wider variety of cards you can pick from, but like I like the idea of having limitations on how you build decks. If that makes any sense. Um, it's one of the reasons why Legacy doesn't really interest me to actually play it. But I like the idea of having limitations on what cards you can play and stuff. I love limited. I just don't play a lot of limited on here because it's a money sink to play on here. It'd be different if I was playing in store. I'd be a little bit more opt to do more limited stuff in store. But yeah, I like the idea of having like limited vats to pick from. Like my favorite way to play Magic is literally like starter decks and dual decks. Stuff like that they used to do. Those are like my favorite ways to play Magic against like other decks that are like that, personally. My favorite card is Hulking Devil. It's 3 and 1 red for a vanilla 5/2. That card won me so many games. Nice. You should be sacking enough to make Magic cards. You should be sacking enough to the Magic gods, considering the deck you play, right? That complaint, Moist, is valid. For Standard, Pauper Standard would cost little to nothing. That is true. So move to Pauper just before Blue Monday and until Swift Spear, and on it was the best format to brew in. Now it's got a Standard problem. You must play X to win. Yeah. I'll take next match, and you'll play Pauper Standard. Red Dex wins if you want. Sure. Sure, Lotus. In theory, you can use PPs for limited only. At least that's what I did. There's a point where you have enough PPPs. You don't know what to do with them. Well, the problem is you got to be really good to do that. That's what the problem is you got to be like a really good player to do that. And I'm like not that good to be able to do that. If that makes any sense. I'm going to pass and probably just Sulphurous Blast. We get 2 treasure tokens out of it. I don't know. Maybe we just like Deadly Dispute. You can get there. It's all about practice. True. That is very true. I would dispute. I think I'm probably just going to dispute. Probably just going to dispute the Piffler. Keep up Shambling Ghast. More than likely. You need targets to dispute. I mean, that is true. I guess we don't have any artifact lands, right? Seeker of the Way. Bet they don't tap down here. Be nice if they tap down. Then we can Sulphurous Blast the Seeker of the Way. Next turn, not have to worry about them keeping it. You're getting better. You haven't blown up your own land like in a month. That is true. To be fair, I don't do that shit in paper. It's all about the clicking. I'm not very good at the click part of this game of Magic Online. Plus, I also pay attention to chat way more in the game. That was a Kodak moment. It was, wasn't it? Did you see the part where I journeyed to nowhere my own creature because I was thinking it was mutate when I was talking to Tandy? That's a pretty good moment. The Sulphurous Blast is smelling a whole lot better. Because they can only activate Secret of the Way once. So, yep. Draw a couple cards. Those are interesting draws. And another Piffler. So we could Sulphurous Blast. Pay and just pass, I guess. I still have 6 cards in hand. That's so gross. We played Endear's Nightblade. We can play Piffler, but then Nightblade dies to Sulphurous Blast. But we could... It's probably worth just playing Sulphurous Blast. And then Nightbleeding next turn into Piffler or into Big Score or something. I tend to struggle with counterspells in paper. People just play so fast sometimes I just forget. That's true. That is true. I think I'm just going to Sulphurous Blast, clean the board off, and pass. But yeah, in terms of power creep, I mean, obviously Magic's not gotten to the limit that Yu-Gi-Oh is, where it's just basically solitaire. But the power creep is definitely noticeable. And in the short time I've been playing Pauper, like a year or so, I've noticed it's been pretty gross. So... I'd like to draw some more of our combo. I've noticed we've not drawn very many of our combo pieces today. Do you think anything should be banned in Pauper? Yeah, I got a list of shit that I would like to see gone. Swift Spear. Get rid of Swift Spear, all that glitters. Ephemerate. I don't think Ephemerate's busted, but I find the card super obnoxious. Honestly, like cards that probably should be banned is Swift Spear, all that glitters. I think Snuff Out's fine. I don't think it's like a broken card. You got to pay a lot of life to use it. Like 4 life is kind of brutal, especially in like certain matchups where it's like really rough. There's hardly any tier decks running Snuff Out besides the Mere Terror. I like how they just rebuilt their board though. If people are trying to play fast, you can call a judge. They need to pass priority to you, and at that point you can... Yeah, that's true. Mirkwood Bats. Hey, we drew Mirkwood Bats. Yeah. Like, any new bans, I mean. I think it'd be interesting if the artifact lands go too. I like the artifact lands. I think it makes Pauper different. And I think it makes it fun. But also, like... You know what I mean? It'd be kind of crazy if it got the axe. I'm debating if I want to try to Mirkwood Bats here or not. Don't know if I do. I might just pay Piffler and pass. Hold up Reckoner's Bargain. And then we can Mirkwood Bats next turn and play Price Statue or Big Score or something. Or I guess we could play Mirkwood Bats and try to Big Score and hope that they don't literally blow up my entire board, which seems super unlikely. So if we play Piffler, Piffler doesn't block anything. But like I said, we get to hold up Reckoner's Bargain. We can Reckoner's Bargain on the end step, but then we can't activate. I think I'm going to play Piffler here and hold up Reckoner's Bargain, and then Mirkwood Bats next turn. I think is what I'm going to do. We used to joke a lot with my local judge that when I played Magic and Paper a long time ago, Judge, my opponent's deck is better than mine. Right? They should be asking response after every trigger. Yeah, they should. That's like a correct way to play. Now, if you play like very casual, like me and my friend group don't really say response. We just play something, and if you have something, you would just interrupt your opponent and be like, in response to that. You know what I mean? Kind of one of those things. Yeah, let's Reckoner's Bargain here. I figured they had Lightning Bolt up. That's why I was very leery about playing Mirkwood Bats. Artifact lands are easy to keep in check. Dust to Dust, Revoke, Cast into Fire. Yeah, but Pascal, well, think about this. If they got rid of the bridges and these artifact lands, like, think about that for a second. Like, that really hinders Affinity a lot, right? And now it opens up to where half your sideboard doesn't have to be dedicated to deal with it, right? So I think it's fair. I think it's fair game to try without the artifact land, see what happens. Swift Spear, either munitions or the indestructible land, Stonehorn Dignitary on all that glitters, I believe should give it ban. Why Stonehorn? There's only one deck playing it and it is doing very well. Honestly, I'd rather just them ban Thoughtcast or other Infinity payoffs rather than the artifact lands themselves. That's a hot take, Torfus. I don't think it's that hot of a take. Yeah, I dislike Stonehorn. No, but it will hit you. No, but it will once you hit the rest. That's probably true. But you just keep adjusting, right? The issue is if you ban bridges, you make 8 decks unviable and just make the and not just the problematic decks. You ban win cons unless cards make everything so unplayable. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think about that for a second. It's a whole Scorched Earth plan, right? Like, you get rid of all the artifact lands, and now you have an entirely new meta, and that I think is interesting. It's not like the problem. It's just fun to stop people going to combat. Yes, it is. True, but I do give you an either or. I mean, Stonehorn is Stonehorn, get rid of Ephemerate. Stonehorn's fine. Get rid of Ephemerate. Right? Stonehorn's not that big of a deal if you get rid of Ephemerate. Because all the other flicker cost cards are much more expensive. And they don't get to do them twice. Thoughtcast I can see being banned. It's only a 1 mana draw 2, a 0 drawback, and be played easily as turn 2 in every deck that is played in. That is also true. Prize statue. Huh. Well, we got to play the bats because we got to start doing stuff. I'm like checked out. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm like completely checked out of what's going on in this game. The conversation's more interesting than what's going on over here. This completely kills Esper Blade, though. It does. It does, but it is what it is. It's not good, though, because people have invested into decks. Like, I get Pauper costs less, but makes $400 of 8 decks using less. RIP people will piss them off. So what? I'm just going to scoop to that. I don't really care. Like, that's my opinion of, like, if you bought into them, you know what I mean? It's just part of the gamble. I think the viability and the fun of the format and the health of the format's more important than people being pissy that they bought cards. You know what I mean? That I don't care that much. Suppose they just hate Finity, so I'd see banned into the ground. College Shift seems like a balanced version of Ephemerate. Modern line products push the power creep so high that you either play the most optimal cards or you lose. Basically, let's ban bridges. Nobody will miss Jeskai and Ephemerate. Nobody will fucking miss that horrendous piece of shit. Just to be mean. Jeskai and Ephemerate is super tilting. That's how Magic needs to think. Yeah, I think they need to quit worrying about if people's going to be mad that they bought cards that they're not going to be able to play, but rather improving the health of the format, in my opinion. Thought I had next game. Oh, sorry, Lotus. Here. What about Pauper from Return to Ravnica onward? Pauper Pioneer, right? Sorry, Pascal. Yeah, Pascal's a dirty Ephemerate player, so. But bans don't maximize profit, so why bother? Because, I don't know, in my opinion, you don't have to play a deck. Lotus, I got it up, buddy. Because in Pauper, you don't have to play. You don't have to play. Not Pauper. You don't have to. Oh my God! Come on, brain. Let's figure out what we're saying here. The long-term profit is playability, right? Instead of maximizing profit. People, I feel like businesses need to learn about the long con rather than the money up front. The problem is the Pauper counts are also afraid to ban, I guess, because they upset someone, but frankly, the health of the Pauper format is more important. The Pauper format in paper, like not in paper, on paper, I guess, not the cards, but like looking at it like a sheet, you consider it healthy because there is viable decks, Pauper standard, woot. There is viable decks running around, right? There are viable decks running around, and there's like quite a few different decks. So like, in my opinion, how bad is this going to hurt us? In my opinion, like, you can totally just what was I saying? You got to look at the health also as in like fun and playability, right? Are people having fun with the format? And I don't know if that's the case because maybe it's just Twitter, and Twitter is a fucking cancer of a social network. But it seems like to me a lot of people are not very happy with the current state of Pauper. And maybe it's an online like bandwagon kind of thing. That could also be very, very popular. Not very popular, very much the truth. You know what I mean? But what does this thing do? It's ward. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not huge on like the Pauper format in terms of the meta right now. Like I like it because I play a lot of jank. So I like a lot of jank. Paper Pauper is so much fun. I haven't got to play it in paper. Nobody around me plays paper. But in terms of like the Pauper format, like the meta decks, like there's like hardly any meta decks I have really any interest in playing like on a like regular basis. And that wasn't the case when I got into Pauper. There were several decks I really liked getting into Pauper. So for me, it's like, you know what I mean? Yes, sir, I don't mind an internal format for people to play in as long as they can all play a format we can enjoy. Pauperneer and Pauper Standard will be the future. That'd be sweet. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. The only thing is I don't want to ban is Synth because it took me like 2 months to find a playset. That's fair. Twitter is super toxic. I play in person and people love it so much. Do they? They like the current like health of the format? Twitter is super toxic. Twitter's awful. Like I've definitely like curated my like Twitter feed to like just be like people that I'm actually like interested in, I guess in that terms, or like like friendly with. And I mainly use it to signal boost. Like I don't really have a following on there, but like to like try to signal boost my content, my like, you know, other friends content and stuff like that, and then also to like communicate with people because it's like the best way to like DM people to like, hey, you know, I do this thing on with Magic where, you know, I talk to creators and stuff, and or if you're interested, like let's do it kind of thing. But I hate Twitter. I think it's an awful platform. That's a shame. Here in Poland, Pauper is the most played format with regular tournaments. Been a couple of them myself. That's awesome. Yeah, there's literally nowhere around me that does Pauper at all. Actually, my local LGS doesn't even do anything but Commander on Fridays. So if I want to go play paper in store, there's a bookstore that does, I think, just Pioneer. I don't know if they do Modern or anything. But like I would have to travel like an hour one way to go play somewhere, and I'm just not into that. Plus, I'm at like the point where I'd rather just play casually with my friends. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have them here and just play casually. It's more fun that way. I don't hear people complaining about the format in paper. Most people kind of stay away from this super toxic decks. I mean, there's an odd guy, but in Pauper, at least you have a convo while they lock you out. Move to Netherlands? I would not mind, actually, Pascal. Beautiful area. All right, so we can Shambling Ghast here. I want to present another threat, I think. My real hot take is the reason the online discourse is so toxic because mtgo itself intensifies certain decks in a way to make money to buy cards and entry. That is true. 100% right. So that was one thing, like when you'd go to FNMs, there was a lot of the time, even with like modern, like you had several people who would play decks right off, pulled straight from Goldfish. Yikes. Rude. Like pulled straight off of Goldfish. I guess that's just one way to really deal with, Blood Aspirant. But, let's see if Mirkwood Bat sticks around for this turn. I doubt it. We'll find out. But like you would also play against a lot of people who would just play the decks that they find fun. So it's a little bit healthier of an environment. I completely see what you're saying, Moist. It's another reason why I play a lot in Pauper, like in the tournament practice queues, because there's more like of a chance of playing like homebrews people are trying out, which is inherently more fun. They can sack. Can they sack something in response? I'm not gonna block here. So I kind of get that. The problem is when you have a change you wish to see, you have to show up with Pauper decks and start the Pauper night yourself. Well, the problem is I work nights, so it's like virtually impossible. And my weekends are always packed, so it's like virtually impossible for me to actually go to the store and try. But I don't know if my local OGS would be interested in it, because he has pretty much said in the past that he has like no interest in anything to do with Magic, because he's all about like the Warhammer and D&D and stuff, so he has like zero interest in it, which is fair, if that's where your passion lies and stuff and where bulk of your business comes from, like that's totally fair. Gonna gain some life here. Can we kill them? No, probably not. Maybe? Yes. I guess I just bring in. He says boo. Oh, sorry. I'm just gonna bring in Weather the Storm and probably I don't want to bring in Weirding Way. Give them tokens. Blood Aspirants, Unexpected Windfall. So yeah, that's part of my problem. My OGS is starting a bi-weekly Pauper night on Wednesdays, and next week they're doing another community night, so hopefully that gets more promos. I can get more promos. That's awesome, Darius. Hope you do. That's the key. If people stay away from toxic decks, they recognize them as a problem. Without it, it creates a false impression of a healthy meta. That is also very true, David. Out here dropping truth bombs. That is very true. I get that they won't acknowledge Pauper, and instead they push people out of the format by buying into other formats where the grass is greener. True. Moist Moose, with Embrace, do you mean force players to buy premium price must buy items? What? Wizards embrace Pauper like they do other formats. No, I don't think so. I think what he means is like Wizards doesn't really like there's never been like a Pauper Pro Tour or GP, right? I think that's what he means. Wizards kind of just sees Pauper as like a little like online format, and that's kind of it. The Pauper community is the one that's like, hey, no, this is a legit format. Like we're gonna do stuff like play it in in tournaments like Paupergeddon. I think that's what he means more by it. They'd be a little bit more serious about, I guess, health maybe. I don't know. I don't trust Wizards in the sense of like actually like keeping health formats. I think they're more interested in pushing new products / not pissing people off who buy into the new product, which I don't think is healthy for the long run. Mainly stuff like Ponza and Jeskai Ephemerate. Yeah, those are very toxic decks. I don't think Ponza's like crazy though. Maybe that's my hot take. That's my hot take of the month. Is I don't think Ponza's like absurd. It's annoying, but like I don't think it's the most absurd deck. You can beat it. I've noticed today we've had a hard time drawing our combo pieces. Sure, there are times that you can come with a brew and 70% of the decks are just Kadatha Red. Not joking here. That's happened twice now. But besides that, there are other brewers that you can share decks with. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of the community when you play in paper. It's people who do brew or people who have more limited resources in that sense of where they can like, okay, these are the cards I have, so I'm going to put something together. And those typically, to me, lead to a funner and healthier experience. But I'm sure you get that with any kind of like hyper competitive format, right? I'm sure that's probably the case. Is anytime you get into like a super competitive format. So I have 24 deck battle box for Pauper, but most of the Pauper players in my area now play EDH. I get that. I don't like Commander. I've never liked Commander personally, but if you like it, have at it. Debating if I want a prize statue here. I guess I could just blow up prize statue. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna pass. I'm kind of working on a battle box myself, Torvis, from like my friends who want to play Pauper and don't want to like get into it. Some of my friends have like a shit ton of cards, so they can easily play a ton of. I'm gonna kill this Flame Breather now. With Improvised Club, sack the prize statue. This Flame Breather is gonna be a problem card. There's definitely an argument for like just holding on to Improvised Club to send to face, but I don't think it's a strong enough one. So yeah, I'm kind of working on that now. There you go. They left Pauper because of the stale meta. I mean, that's also a thing. There's also like fatigue that I've heard people talk about. Pauper players don't buy packs. That's why LGSs aren't hyped most of the time. They only see it as a step up to expensive formats, if host at all. Okay, Torvis, let me jump down to Bartos. Thanks for hanging out, Bartos. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Is there a Discord I can share decks on? Yes, but the Discord is for members only, so you have to become a member to share. And once you become a member, you'll see the link to the Discord server. So if that interests you, it's 99 cents a month or $1 a month. Depends on how you want to round stuff up, but that's where it's at. Otherwise, if you want to share deck list, you can just copy and paste out the full deck list. YouTube doesn't allow anybody but moderators and myself to post links, so that's a way to do it. Let me play this turn first, and then I'll read some comments. So I kind of like big scoring here and pitching the prize statue, which feels weird, but I think we're going to net more, hopefully positive things. We did. Cool. Let's Shambling Ghast. Scowl Blast to your face. And I'm just going to go ahead and Weather the Storm now. Oh, we have like a decent stack. All right. Now, where was I? Pascal. Trying hard here. So Pascal. Excuse me. You're absolutely right. Pauper players do not buy packs, but I understand certain areas not wanting to really play Pauper because of that. But like at the same time, it's a very, very accessible format for everybody. So where I live in particular, there's not a lot of money. There's not a lot of money where I live. I'm talking about the like average income is probably like anywhere between $12 to $14 an hour. So Pauper is a very viable format where I live in the sense of a lot of people can play at a competitive level without having to spend an arm and a leg to do so. So like in my opinion, where I live, Pauper could be very, very viable. So I like it for my personal area. Like it feels like it's a good spot to be in. If he attacks, I'm just going to throw the Shambling Ghast underneath the bus to get a treasure token. So to me, Pauper could be a very viable format. You know, when we would go to F&M on a regular basis, you had probably 5 or 6 modern players that really had like the decks out, you know what I mean? And then you had a good handful of people who were just like putting together stuff or had budget options of modern decks. Then with standard, you had probably 3 or 4 or 5 that were really like heavy into building I hate to do it this way, but I'm going to. Yikes. Those are pretty bad draws. I think Mel's here, which is why my dog's going berserk. It sound like Mel pulled up. Let me look on the camera before I get up to be lazy. Yep, it's Mel. That's what I thought. We need to find our combo pieces. Like, why is Reckless Fireweaver the only combo piece we've got so far? But yeah, so like, and with standard, you had kind of the same thing. You had a couple people playing like meta decks, and then you had a handful of people just playing with cards they had. So in my personal opinion, our area where we live, it makes a lot of sense to play Pauper, if that makes any sense. People just don't like not having lands. I heard Witch is going to merge with SeaWorld since they both feed so many whales. Damn, that's brutal. There's like 2 whales in my LGS that love Pauper because of the cost, so they can bling out decks. I went against like yeah, right. I bling out like a little bit. Like if the foil version is like 10 or 15 cents more than the regular version, I'll bling it out too. I totally get that. Improvised Club is not very exciting. I have a lot of cards we can draw that we're just not drawing. Not a Commander fan either, yeah. So by my embrace, I mean represent any common over $5 in net sets, make promo for poppers, GPS, etc. Yeah. Yeah. GPs, not GPS. I'd rather just build a Pauper cube. I mean, yeah, Pauper cubes seem alright, where you can like draft Pauper decks. That seems kind of fun. Salt and Pauper was talking about doing that, which seems pretty cool. Looks like weather has been working well. Yeah, I mean, it's literally keeping us alive. Okay, so I'm on lunch now. I can talk more. What's up, Moose? Every person, no blocks. Every person event I've been to has been very positive. I've been to 3 1K events, and you do see a lot of the meta. I think a lot of toxic mindset comes from online. Well, I think part of the online is, one, I feel like there's more chance to like earn stuff. So there's that, but then on top of that, the whole like adage of just like cramming in as many games as possible, which is why Burn is so much of the online meta, but not in paper. Was it Brian Cook? What? I went against my man and had completely foiled Cycle Storm and Lotus Petals were masterpieces. Damn, that's crazy. I've had mixed, like in my years of playing Magic, I've had mixed like experiences with like paper Magic playing in stores. I've had some good experiences, which is obviously always very nice when they happen. But I've also had some experiences that's like, God damn, this is obnoxious. You know what I mean? I hate to have to pitch improvised club. How do you gain life? Hold on real quick. Did he gain life somewhere? I thought we had him at 9. I'm gonna pass. And for some reason I thought we had him at 9. When I started playing Modern, the meta was also very diverse. When I stopped playing Modern, Horizon Piles. Yeah, I used to play Modern very heavily before the Modern Horizon sets came out. And there was a pretty wide, diverse playfield. Like, there was Death and Taxes, there was Eldrazi-tron, Mono Green-tron, Dredge, Amulet Titan, Burn, Merfolk, trying to think of all the decks I would see pretty regular. There was like a Is It Prowess deck that was like halfway decent. Infect was a thing. Like there was a ton of decks. And now it's literally just like Modern Horizon piles, you're right. I don't bling much, but Dark Art foil cast down has to be done. That's cool. You should. Also, the fact mtgo is missing so many cards, I think it's hard to use it. I think it's hard to use that as a foil judge for a mega. I agree. There is a lot of cards missing for Magic Online. You go to 8. Okay. Let's weather the storm here. Gain some life. Lame. Sorry. He's baiting weather. I don't think he was baiting weather. I don't think he was really playing around it. Ban that card. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This card's bullshit. No, it's a guy named Robert from my LGS. Meta. Oh, I see what you're saying for a meta. I want the Infinity stuff. I do too. I want Marut. Before I disappear, here's a deck I've been crushing locally. Hope you all like it. I know there are some similar versions, but I will be testing along new card Wilds of Eldraine adventure cards. Main board is 4 Exhume, 2 Forest, 4 Generous Sense, 1 Geothermal Bog, 4 Gray Slad / Empathic Decay, 1 Haunted Mire, 4 Merchant of the Veil / Haggle, 4 Mountain, 4 Oliphant, 4 Overwhelming Remorse, 3 Snuff Out, 4 Street Wraiths, 4 Swamps, 4 Troll Khazad-dûm, 4 Ulamog's Crusher, 4 Violent Outbursts, 1 Wooded Footline, 4 Writhing Necromass. Sideboard is 2 Deglammers, 3 Fairy Macabres, 3 Knot of the Bones, 3 Ingot Chewers, 2 Revenant Silence, and 2 Sulphurous Blast. That is interesting. That is really interesting. So the 4, I'm curious about the 4 Ulamog's Crushers. Like, is there a way, I guess haggle. I was like, is there a way to get that into the graveyard? That's interesting. I like it. So it's like a Jund. Is it Jund? Did I see any green in here? Yeah, there's green. So it's Jund Reanimator. That's really cool. Let me do my turn first. Let's big score. Pitch the land. We get into near Nightblade. Can we survive a turn? 1. Okay, we'll go 1. I don't know. I don't know if we can survive a turn. That's the question. We're going to find out, though. My problem is we play Nightblade now. We only gain 1 life off of it. But I guess we have another blocker, right? I'm just going to pass. Think. Okay, he's going to limb boss. That's how he gained life last time. I think that should be sued to judge the meta or things like Paupergeddon, 1K events, etc. Like, suit a huge online tournament could be good, but until mtgo can make loops, it's not good. I mean, it's true. I agree. It's what should probably be used. Like, you got to look at like the Pauper meta, like the actual like big tournament metas and stuff. I agree with that. Magic Online is not really like a great example of what health is, you know? I don't think we're going to live through this. Just saying. Put 1 on top. Yikes. Cast into fire. Okay. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation, I think, to have. Cast into fire. They're trying to make Reckless Fireweaver a really bad block, which I think they're achieving pretty nicely. Mopo, what's up? Meta in person versus mtgo can be so different. In person, we see a lot more Infinite Loop Tron decks. Yeah, I figure like, because I think Kalikaz is the only person playing Ultratron. So I get that. And you have the sticker decks and you have all kinds of other stuff. So I get that. I still think Swift Spear is a problem. I still think artifact lands would really, really change up the meta. And I still think Ephemerate is probably the most obnoxious card in the whole entire format. And I also think All That Glitters is an issue card. Those are my opinions. 3, 6, 9, damn good time. 3, 6... 3, 6 Mafia. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. Well, I'm just going to block here and see what happens. All right. Just run it back. Run it back and hope we find combo pieces more early in the game. Fun game. But yeah, so that's my opinion. But I completely agree. Like the modern meta, like Modern Horizons, has shifted that so much compared to what I'm used to. It turned it into basically Legacy of what Legacy's power level was back when I played a lot. Power creep's real, man. I feel like Magic probably did a really good job for a long time of not like really letting power creep go wild, but I feel like it's in the past few years have probably gotten a little out of hand. Looks like a strong deck Lotus made. Then no bolts or 50 either. Not ridiculously overpowered, I mean. Yeah. Power level of standard Pauper deck feels right. So are we going? Oh, so on the okay, I'll question. I don't know if. Damn it, wrong land. I don't know if Bull's still listening or not. Doesn't seem overpowered. So are we just doing this? What's in current standard rotation? Is that what the Pauper standard is going to be? Is that what's going on? Because that seems interesting. See, we could have played another Piffler. Yeah, decks don't see on mtgo that are great online are Ultratron, FAMs, Goblin combo, Wall combo, Turbo Fogs, Psychic Storm, any other decks that needs a lot of clicks to win. Yeah, true. Yes, sir. Innistrad forward for the next year. See, that sounds interesting to me. That sounds more like in the sutra of like where I'm at of like wanting to be with like power levels and stuff. So seems fun. I don't have much of a reason to play Mirkwood Bats. I guess I could. Hmm. I'm gonna Reckless Fireweaver and then Impulsive Piffler. What am I gonna do this turn? September 2024 would be the next cycle. That's interesting. Didn't they like extend like the how standard like the sets that are in standard and how long they're in the standard format? I feel like they did. I'm not 100% sure of that, but it feels like they did. But this sounds interesting. It sounds like an interesting idea. A braid, rude. Successfully played around for the bats. They made a 3-year cycle announcement in May. Gotcha. Also, you talk to anybody and everybody thinks somebody else is too strong. Kelly hates anything that stops Storm and mid-range combo decks. I know a podcast that thinks Terror should be banned. I'm not. God damn it. I don't think Terror should be banned. You can deal with Terror. I think Terror is a little bit. Maybe I'm in the minority of saying this, but I think Terror is a little bit more in the. I'm gonna just kill this thing. I think Terror is a little bit more in the realm of like not that obnoxiously broken, I guess. That makes any sense. Terror is crap. Do you think the deck's bad, David? I don't know how broken actually Ephemerate is. I just personally hate the card, so I'd like to see it banned, but I think I've beaten every Terror deck every single time with my awful brews, I swear. Geet 'em. Bats V2. They go to kill this one, we can just deadly dispute it, but I hope not. But because MTGO results, people said it was too strong and needed to be banned until Gardens came back and beat it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess in my head, like, I'm thinking of cards that I think are problematic, like in the sense of like how they play compared to like other things. And I think Swift Spear is a problem. It's too fast for the format. It's too aggressive, and it's arguably too strong. And I think All That Glitters is kind of the same thing. I think it's too fast, it's too aggressive, it's too strong. Come on, draw something good. Something good. Big Skoo. Let's draw a big Skoo. Actually, let's not draw a big score. Well, I guess we could draw a big score and something else. Okay, that's fine. Yep. I'm actually half tempted to just pitch this Fireweaver. Not Fireweaver, Weather the Storm. I don't think I'm going to, though. I think I'll activate stuff in response to him. Can we get the kill, I guess is the question, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Not unless we draw something into it. I think I'm fine with just passing here. Like, people forget Cogate still beats all these new strong decks. People just don't like playing it on Joe for some reason, because it's click heavy, I think. Also, games go for a long time. So there's also that to think about. I'm going to pitch this Wither the Storm. Yeah, like I said, MTGO should just be considered different from paper game because in reality they're different games. Yeah, that's fair. I don't feel like that's that way with other formats, but I think Pauper gets a little bit special because of I guess I should just block this, right? We might have the kill if we had Pifflered, I guess, right? Arena is a separate format, true. Especially Esper Coggates, though, right? What do you mean Arena is separate format? Like Arena formats, because of how Arena is set up, has different formats. Let's see, you can do 13 damage next turn. No, I guess we don't have it wrapped up completely, but it's pretty close. Guess he's got to have 13 damage and kill Reckless Fireweaver next turn. Everything Arena has a brawl version, I guess. Damn it. Definitely drawing all the removal. That's for sure. Still have a lot of ways out. right? We still have all the improvised clubs and everything. Like, we got a lot of cards. Draw. That was not one of them. That's for damn sure. Did he forget about this? Got shot? He forgot about that. Had a lot of stuff. That's for sure. That's probably all I'm going to get into today. Everybody forgets the boy, I guess. There are currently 2 S tier decks in Pauper, in my honest opinion. That's Mono Red and Mono Blue Fae. Affinity would not be as good for Dust to Dust Revoke Existence, Smash the Red, and Smash Fae. I don't know. Oh, it feels like to me like Burn, All That Glitters, and Fae are probably, I don't know if I'd say Fae, but All That Glitters are probably easily the best decks right now. Great Stream, Dawn of a New Era, maybe. I definitely like it. So far, for the online, offline argument, I disagree, but I think it's because in my area I face mainly tier 1 meta decks. It's probably dependent on where you go, but yeah, I get it. Yeah, so today didn't run very well. Played against All That Glitters twice and Boros Synth. I definitely played very poorly today. This is the deck where you don't want to play very poorly, but we didn't have a win against All That Glitters, and probably should have had another win against them too. But also feel like I had a little bit of bad variance today, but for the most part, also, yeah, I also feel like I played very, very poorly. Pauper Standard sounds really interesting. I wouldn't mind looking into that a little bit more, trying that out or something. That also seems pretty interesting for sure. But thank you, Moist Moose. I do really enjoy this deck. It's still one of my favorite decks in the format. Obviously, some days I'm not going to play as well or run as well. Tomorrow, we're going to play a deck voted by Discord. So later today, I'll have some deck voting on Discord. So if you want to partake in that, consider becoming a member if you're not already a member. But outside of that, I'm going to bounce for today. Thanks, everybody. I think we had some pretty interesting discussions today. Today was definitely more of a talking stream rather than a playing stream. I'm going to play this deck again probably next week, too. I just really like this deck. I want to get more reps in with it. I want to get more games in with it. See what works and doesn't work. The more I play this deck, the more like Blood Aspirant's cool, but I also think that I can also see why Marut, it just is 1,000 times of a better card in this deck. So we'll flesh out the details in Pauper Standard. Let's do it. So anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I will catch you all tomorrow maybe. Bye, everybody. I don't know what I'm doing.